Lakers center Deandre Ayton expressed frustration with his current role on the Lakers. Ayton said that they were trying to make him play like Clint Capela, but said, quote, "I'm no Clint Capela." Channing Frye weighed in on the Ayton-Lakers situation on the Road Trippin' Show. Listen to this.
Deandre Ayton is a master of nothing. In what world do I throw Deandre Ayton the basketball when I have Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka? Stop it. You're going to get J.J. Redick fired. Who's running those plays? When have you seen consistency from the man? You've never seen it. So him saying, they want me to be Clint Capela, yeah, he's averaged a double-double for the majority of his career.
Ooh, strong words. Perk, what do you think?
Oh.
You were sitting right there.
It was strong words, but it was strong words, but it was real words. And Deandre Ayton, a former #1 pick, he's in the same territory with Ja Morant. You know, it either could be him on the verge of reinventing himself, or he could find himself out the league 2 or 3 years from now. Teams are not going to continue to give him chance after chance after chance. And you know what's the most disturbing thing to me? Is that all Deandre Ayton, a guy that is fast, that could get up and down the floor, has great athleticism, could be a lob threat. All he has to do is switch his damn mindset into being a star in his role. He could make another $100+ million in this league. I watch a young player like Jalen Duren, who barely get calls ran for him, not like sets. He doesn't get post-ups. He just get all his buckets off of offensive rebounds, being a pick and roll guy, playing the dunker spot, and he was a first-time All-Star this year, and his career he's gonna have a hell of a career. Deandre Ayton is playing with 3 of the best facilitators in the game, 3 of the best playmakers in the game. Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron James. You could eat, you could grub, you don't need sets. I disagree with Shannon to this point. He's not the player that's going to get J.J. Redick fired. I understand where he's coming from. But again, Deandre Ayton is the most important player on the Los Angeles Lakers, because if he could switch his mindset to being that enforcer, being that real interior presence, then that will cover up for the lack of perimeter defense that they have and cover up for Luka and Austin Reeves, because we know they get picked on and the word is out around the NBA to attack those 2 guys.
I think Deandre Ayton is, I want to say he's amongst the fewer problems that the Lakers have. The Lakers are a top-heavy team. LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves are not defensively inclined, and clearly they're going to go in another direction next season as they try to remake this team around Luka Doncic, probably going to get lob threats and defenders around the rim. For Deandre Ayton, he signed a 2-year deal, $16 million. He's got a player option for next year. My question is, if you are disappointed in Deandre Ayton right now, have you not seen how he's played in these other stops? He's been productive. He can play with his back to the basket. He's athletic, although he doesn't jump out the gym, but he's never been a defender. He's never been a guy, like going back to his Phoenix days when he and Monty Williams were getting into it a little bit in the sidelines, when that thing started to implode. Sometimes as an organization, you have to make a decision to say, okay, we are accepting this player's past history and knowing what we are getting and hoping for the best, as opposed to, hey, big fella, you're going to change all these years of evidence of being who you are, and then your most vulnerable spot is our most vulnerable spot. As an interior defender, you're vulnerable. As far as our team makeup, interior defense is our worst spot. This just didn't seem like a match made in heaven to begin with.
So what are you saying, Vince? You saying that the Lakers should adjust to Deandre Ayton? Is that what that's what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm going back to the summer when they signed him. I'm not saying throw the ball down to him like he's Patrick Ewing. You got LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves. I am saying the expectation shouldn't have been high to begin with. If you watch the tape over him throughout the career, you shouldn't be surprised that this is playing out the way that it's playing out.
Stephen A., go ahead.
Well, it's one thing not to be surprised, Vinny, but that don't mean they can't be disappointed.
Absolutely.
Because if he gives you anything, then you got a decent chance if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, particularly with LeBron, Luka, and AR in the lineup together. You got to remember, I'm looking at this, and this is his numbers. In the month of November, most of which LeBron James was out, Deandre Ayton averaged 16.6 points per game. In December, that number dipped to 12.3 a game. In January, it dipped to 11.9 a game. And in February, into this first week in March, it's at 9.2 points per game. He's regressing. Now, I don't know if I got to remind you of this, Vinny, Big Perk. You know I'm a West Indian man, you know. I know West Indian man. You understand? That's where he's from Nassau, Bahamas. He's from Nassau, Bahamas. You understand? Born in the islands. You understand? The brother, listen, you got a lot of hard-working people, dedicated and stuff like that, but you also have some people that move to the beat of their own drum. Deandre is one of those dudes that the sun's going to shine tomorrow, the beach ain't too far away, the sand is there, I'm getting my money, I'm good. Because you talk about lackadaisical kicking in. It has been his reputation, his history, wherever he's going, Phoenix, Portland, now the Los Angeles Lakers. And Channing Frye was absolutely right in every word that he said, just like Big Perk just pointed out. Channing Frye didn't say anything wrong. It's just a damn shame that yet again a new year has arrived and the same kind of thing that's been said about Deandre Ayton repeats itself. The man won't change. He's stubborn. What you seeing is what you gonna get always when it comes to him.
So Stephen A. pointed out his season averages.
Lakers league. And this guy makes tough guarded shots like you see in the NBA playoffs in Game 7.
Not about his game, Coach.
That's why I think that.
It's not about his game. Go ahead, Perk. Go ahead, Perk.
Bring it on, Perk. Let's go, Perk.
Look, no. Listen, I believe this. I agree with you, Coach. It is the best freshman class ever. Darian Peterson reminds me a lot of Milwaukee Ray Allen. Okay, let me say that. But I'm with Stephen A. He got some areas he needs to clean up outside the lines. But can I ask y'all a question? Can we stop with the measurables and all this stuff? Can we get back to valuing the quarterback position of the NBA, which is the point guard position? Can we look at a young man like Darius Ayton, who's on the cuff of winning SEC Player of the Year as a young freshman, arguably the best guard that John Calipari has ever had? Can we start valuing that? Because when we look at the history of the NBA, just go on the history of point guards being drafted number one, just ones that come to mind. A la John Wall, successful career. A la Derrick Rose, Chicago Bulls, successful career. So when we start to think about the point guard position, we need to get back to valuing the quarterback position. There's so many teams out there that needs a true point guard. This guy's one of those dynamic scorers. Stephon Marbury could make guys around him better. So if you're asking me, I would actually consider drafting Darius Ayton number one.
Well, listen, I think it warrants consideration. Coach, I'll come to you with this, but I want to interject, Coach, because I want to throw this out there before you answered both of us. I certainly consider that a Big Perk because Ayton is special. The brother nice. He got a nice game. There's no doubt about it. But there's a few guards. Flemings in Houston is no joke. I'm looking at these cats, Berries and Bradley at Arizona. I can't ignore them. Mm-hmm. You obviously see that kind of stuff. I get it, right? But here's my whole deal. Coach, Perk, you like Jason Tatum, don't you? I mean, remember when Lonzo Ball and De'Aaron Fox was coming available in the draft and Markelle Fultz was available in the draft? But we all liked Jason Tatum, didn't we? Why? Because the brother was 6'9" with a handle with skills coming out of Duke. Well, what about Mr. A.J. DeBonza out of BYU? What about that brother who's leading the nation, averaging nearly 25 on 53% shooting from the field? All right, 36% shoot from three-point range. Got a handle, can get to the hole, got athleticism, had a little rough night the other night against West Virginia. I get all of that. They're only 8-8 in their conference. Since starting out 16-1, they've been struggling. I get it. But this brother right here, A.J. DeBonza, what about him, Coach? You don't teach his height. You don't teach his athleticism. And, oh, by the way, just for the record,